Hi guys, welcome again to Dubz and Toy Ponder Couch.
On the couch.
And today we're going to be talking about vices.
Not advice, vices.
And when we say vices, we're referring to coping mechanisms, right?
Habits.
Habits.
Well, not necessarily habits, but...
Right, coping, right? How you cope with stuff. You know, I'm just going to throw it out there. There's like different ways, like in talking to my friends and people around. You know, growing up, a lot of my friends, the guys, they smoked weed. I'm not sure if that was a coping mechanism or just a lifestyle. But a couple of my girlfriends, some drink, some smoke weed, some may take prescriptions. And I'm sure that everything has its pros and its cons. What about your friends and your environment? What's the...
Pretty much the same, because growing up in Jamaica, living in Jamaica, if you're not, smoking weed or cigarettes, it's drinking. So, yeah, it's pretty much that. I think that those three are the main vices in Jamaica. I mean, is sex a vice? Some people...
Yeah, sex could be one.
Yeah,
I mean, some people act out.
Right.
Right, yeah, so it could be
but
physical.
People
but
I know was pretty much same alcohol, herbs, and nicotine.
So, did you have any or do you have any?
Me? Well, I wouldn't say I have any. No. I used to drink a lot. I like it a lot.
You don't say.
I used to drink, not a lot, but yeah. And funny enough, I discovered drinking alcohol in my 30s. So like growing up,
a late bloomer.
yeah, very.
Wow.
So I didn't, mess with alcohol or anything like that prior to that. And when I went in.
Oh, you went all the way in.
Kinda,
Head
yeah.
first.
Well yeah.
Different topic. Okay.
And at one point too, I started messing with cigarettes, which a very short stint and not a lot, but I guess it was an excuse. Sometimes I feel stressed out. I thought that was a way to, zen out or calm myself.
Okay.
Which it helped a bit, but sometimes like I stopped because I know my body wasn't liking it and I was forcing myself to do it. I was like, why are you forcing yourself to do this bad thing to your body? So I stopped doing it.
My dad was a smoker. He also drank. Yeah, but I mean, he stopped at the age when I was like around 12, 13. So that's a long time ago. So that's what we saw, my brother and I, growing up. But then neither one of us took it up. I mean, we were pretty boring kids. I mean, we were outside a lot, so maybe that was our way. Mm-hmm. We were outdoor kids catching lizards, operating on lizards, making fires, doing kiddie stuff. When I got to my late teens, like I said, all my friends, the guys, weed smokers. I was very proficient and efficient in rolling the old school way, picking out seeds.
Oh, what you saying?
But I never smoked. I tried puffing a cigarette 1 or 2 times at Mataran, because that was what they say, the woman's cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't inhale. I just, so that wasn't even, I don't think it was even a vice. But since we're on the topic, and in my adulthood, I guess I discover, for me, it's outside, fresh air. Music. Gardening, my feet against the soil, water. So if I'm really stressed, you'll hear me say, I want to go to the beach. I want to immerse my body in water. And then, I take walks. A few little yoga steps that you see on on social media here and there that I do practice myself. But as it relates to drinking, smoking, or any of the sorts, no. Sometimes I wish I had a vice, because when I see how others do it, I'm like, okay, so this shit really works. Excuse the language. So I'm like, okay, I need something that works like this, but never been brave enough. Definitely don't want to do anything pharmaceutical. I mean, if I'm going to try it, must be weed. And I was told by a friend that at my age, if I have not smoked weed, I should not do it. So
I agree with that friend.
I don't know, but yeah, but I see people out there. I see some of my girlfriends, they're out there. The first thing they do as they get somewhere, they'll have a drink. And I'm dancing, and they're like, how do you do it? Because I don't need anything.
You don't need anything, forget the bottle.
Yeah.
Because your purpose is the music. The music fuels you.
Yeah.
That was my thing. As we get into the venue or wherever it is, straight to the bar to get the vibes build. You understand? We have to build the vibes right away.
So it wasn't a coping mechanism then?
No.
It was just more of building a vibe and your alter ego, you know?
Right.
Okay. So that's when the Dubz came out, huh?
Oh, maybe.
But then it's funny, you're a musician, so one would think though that if you're stressed or, something about a year you need, you're working on something, that music would be that thing for you. You just grab a guitar and strum it, or,
It depends, not really. Because I think music for me, who has grown up in music, hands-on with music, I see it and feel it, approach music different from most people, true. I think. There was one time when I felt really stressed, something got on and it really bothered me, and I didn't know what else to do that day. And usually, if I am upset or stressed or anything, I can't drink. A lot of people take to the bottle. Right. No, because drinking for me heightens my mood. Meaning, whatever mood I'm in, or whatever headspace, it will amplify.
Yeah.
So, I associated drinking with having a good time, not to try and fix a bad feeling.
Okay.
So for me, drinking was, may I go out and have fun now. So drinking comes in for me.
So.
Not, we can't deal with this and I have to drink now. So the one time I recall in a, messed up headspace, and I didn't have my guitar amp at home for whatever reason. It was by my father's house. But I went there, and I don't think that it was home. But pretty much I just went in. There's a back room where I keep all the equipment. That's where my guitar amp was and my guitar. And I told everybody hey, and went straight into the room and locked the door. And it was just me and the guitar for maybe 2 hours. That was the first time. And I wasn't playing anything specific.
Right. Just strumming.
Letting out whatever it was at the time. I felt better when I was done. But that was maybe the only time. I think also, shameless plug, on my album, Memories of Mom, was where I expressed a lot of what I didn't show when my mom passed. So the recordings on that album really, I think, expressed those feelings. That's how I coped with that at the time.
So you use it as your vice?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And sometimes.
That's cool. But what do you have to say, and this is not from a judgmental perspective, but what do you have to say about those that rely on substances?
Well, I can't be a judge on anyone, but, wow. People know what is good for them and what's not good. You see how much people OD every day. Yesterday, in the news. So I would not advocate, for certain types of vices. Now, one can debate weed.
Yeah, it's just a slip.
Right.
It's natural.
Right.
It's from the earth.
But also I've seen where it mess up people. So everything isn't for everybody either. I won't say I won't be pro or against any vice per se. Just make sure as an adult you know what you're doing when you're doing it. Or you can you kind of have a handle on the vice that you're in, because a lot of people too, like for argument's sake, when I was smoking cigarettes, I don't have an addictive personality, meaning there's nothing that I can be addicted, maybe porn, a joke. A joke, but there's nothing.
Daddy.
There's there's nothing that can have that grip on me. And I know people who cannot quit cigarette, but I realize the person I'm referring to or the persons I'm referring to, they have that addictive personality because it's not only smoking, it's, pain meds, it's coffee, you understand? So, I've developed a coffee addiction, I must admit.
On the topic of coffee,
go ahead.
when you drink it, what does it do?
You tell me, what does it do for you? You see, okay, yes.
No, well, I see sunshine when I drink coffee.
Yes.
It actually does. So if I must admit to a vice, then it could be coffee.
Yeah.
And it only works if I need it, because if I don't need it, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm really in my headspace seeing doom and gloom, gray skies, I'm not lying. I drink coffee and it feels like sunshine. I see sunshine, I see light, my brain starts working. If I'm worried, I'm no longer worried. If it's a plan I'm trying to execute, then everything falls into place.
Okay.
Amongst other things that coffee does, it also stimulates me in other ways.
Yes.
And it's funny, one of my good friends told me that his grandfather used to give him coffee as a child, and he didn't know why. Grandfather was like, yeah man, you drink coffee.
Okay.
And when he got older, he realized coffee was a stimulant for him.
Okay.
And so it gave him, it made him arouse.
Right.
So, coffee has its purpose in life.
I hear.
Drink coffee.
Yes.
But, back to the other vices. So, so if you want me to admit if I have a vice, it could be coffee, right? Like I said, not every day is going to give me the same vibe. Only if I need it, then it does. Which, again, that could be belief, kill and it cure.
That too.
Right? But if you had to choose a vice, what would it be?
Honestly, I don't think anything is wrong with a little drink now and then. If it's something that, like how I used to drink, not when I went overboard, but like if you decide you're going to go out and it make you kind of lose some of your inhibitions. If you're an introvert or if you're kind of shy, and you feel like that helps you to be a little bit more bold, have a little drink, maybe that's not what I should say, but yeah. I couldn't, because you're asking for me, what advice would I choose for me, because I'm not here telling anybody to go out and have
for you. Right. And this, of course, is a question that has no bearing on your life.
Right,
because
right.
That's not
Maybe
who you are.
drinking,
You don't have an addictive personality.
Right.
I don't either.
Right.
And that's why I find it hard to, like I said, coffee don't work for me all the time. And I can't drink coffee every day. I know when it
too much
makes my body acidic, then I have to neutralize and go on the alkaline side. And so I know the side effects for me consuming too much of one thing. So and I am very in tuned, and I cannot feel my body changing as a result of drinking coffee
And
continuously and not address it, right? So
what would you choose as advice?
I don't know.
I'm stumped really, because I don't have smoked weed. Cigarette is not for me. Anything consuming smoke is not for me. I have respiratory issues, so that none of those is for me. I tried vaping, which again, I don't like the feeling that THC, what the chemical in weed, I don't like it, how it makes me feel. So that wouldn't be for me.
For me, I am too much in my head. I like to be in control, especially if I'm out. Maybe trying something at home.
Right.
That's probably the only place I would. But if you're gonna have a vice, you can't control where you're gonna have it. Right. It would just be whenever the need arises. Right. So drinking is not going to be my thing because I have to be 100% sober. I stand very tall at less than 5'5". Right, okay. So I'm always aware of the size of my body and the dangers that lies. So head on the shoulder all the time. So it won't be drinking because they say it may make me lose my inhibitions. No. Weed or cigarette, I'm afraid of the inhale process, and I see some people cough up them lungs, them intestines. I can't do that. I'm afraid of that. So I don't know. I mean, and I'm not good on taking a prescription either. Right. So I mean, I've been into surgery and come out and I'm supposed to take a prescription and I don't. So. But if I had to choose I think maybe I would want to smoke weed. But then I hear some people who say they smoke weed and all of a sudden them start run because them sick. Somebody chase them. Right. They have the paranoia. So if you're a paranoid type of person, then it's only gonna heighten that. So it's other and then some. So yeah. But if I had to choose, maybe weed. Maybe weed.
So I remember somebody tell me once, like, them wife cuss them and say, what kind of man you? You don't have no vice, you don't smoke, you don't drink, what kind of man you?
That's a horrible
which was
if him drink and beat her, then she upset, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so there are some people who, maybe that was old school still, but there are some people who feel like you should have some kind of vice or a bad habit or something that makes you seem more manly or more human or more, if you're a woman, you have more style, more class, more something, I don't know. But what is your vice? Do you have a vice? What do you think about vices in general? Comment below, let us know what you feel,
And I'll let you know if I try the big W.
The big W.
I know drinking it. I mean, I drink every so often, so that's not it. I've tasted that. I've never tasted weed.
Okay.
I mean, I've been a side streamer, a secondhand smoker. Right, inhaling it. Yeah, it smells good, especially when it's green and nice. I can smell it a mile away. Anything else, I'll pass on it. But to each his own.
Right.
This is not judgment. Right. This is just, we have lots of conversations on a daily basis. And this is just another one. And we're just sharing our views on it, Mm-hmm. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. And of course, share it with your friends. We appreciate the love.
Peace.
Peace.